Looked that way yesterday. Whoops. Both gas grills are mine. I figured right after I went out and ponied up the money to actually buy one for myself, and I trash picked a nice one down the street.
Yeah.
So I use one for cooking things that's not going to be a mess, and I use the other one to make the mess. So it's like if I'm cooking chicken, like say in a pan or something, or ribs, I'll put them over on that one for a while. When I get them almost done, then I'll take them over on the other grill, pip the barbecue sauce on, and make the mess. And
Hey, if you got it at your disposal.
I only got to clean one grill.
Oh, that's a nice big closet.
There's a switch there too.
Where at?
Oh, it's kind of hanging there.
There we go. Yeah.
Once you get used to it. One of the drawbacks in this apartment is the light switch. The first light switch when you come in is right there.
Oh wow.
Which means
You probably need put something here, like
something. Now the gal that was here before had this rig, which I hadn't taken out yet, which basically she had attached here, and she had just like a lamp. Exactly how she worked it, I'm not sure, but that way she could come in and do that. When I've been working in here, what I do is this light here's on a dimmer. What I do is I dim it right down to almost nothing, so I can see to come in if it's dark, and then go from there.
here. So that's the only closet I'm seeing in the. Yeah.
Yep.
That one big closet for the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, but locate that as far away from the back from the bedroom as possible.
Okay. Is there another one, or is that it? There's another one?
Yeah, there's another one down below here.
Okay.
It's just as well pop in down there. That one's got a full bathtub.
Oh, okay.
Number 2. Now let's back this way.
This way.
Yeah. In fact, while I'm getting this unlocked, if you poke your head down the steps here, you can see where the laundry is.
Oh, okay.
It's not much of a big deal, so. I'll give me a minute here to locate the key. Which I think is. Every time somebody trips on that second step, I always remember that one step is an inch higher than the other. I've got used to it, so I don't even think about it anymore. But what I need to do is I need to add a second tread on the bottom step, and then that way that one's where it ought to be, and the rest of them all line up.
This one's nice with the backsplash.
If I could afford to move out of where I am, but I have a little office and a shop down underneath the front apartment, so it just wouldn't be fair to put somebody up there and then have me down there making a bunch of racket.
Right.
So I stay where I am.
This is the fire escape again, or
Well, it just actually just leads out back.
leads out back?
Yeah, we'll see it when we get outside. Or actually, go out this way, and I will. I'll come around. Are you done in here?
No, I was gonna take a little peek, but
We'll come back through. This door needs to be upgraded. Weather strip. Put a new window in the back with thermopane. It's a little chilly back here. A little bit deeper.
yep.
That's about it. In here, basically, we're trying to see if we can run it as is. I have noticed that there's a few little things which I'll see better. Maybe scrape and spackle down here and touch that pane up and get some of these flakes off the ceiling before they get any worse. A couple years ago when we did this, I had a guy in here that was just meticulous, and this ceiling here was really well scraped and primed.
Like,
And then,
I don't want to.
yeah, it's gotta be switched on from over here first. I don't know what the hell works or doesn't work. If they don't complain, I don't pay too much attention.
I don't think the light bulb's not probably burn out.
Yeah, it could be. Either way, it's repairable.
Yep. Okay. So I guess you're going to show me how much the rents are.
Yeah.
What's included with the rent? Any utilities or is it all
Heat and hot water.
heat and hot water?
Yeah.
Okay.
In most every apartment, you have a gas bill, pay for a cook stove, which it kind of takes. Well, actually, this one here, I pay the gas bill because the only real way to put the gas dryer in downstairs, which is coin op, was to tie it into this apartment.
Okay.
And I didn't think it really made sense to expect the tenant to pay for
The dryer.
the dryer,
Right.
even though it's not expensive. I mean, I could probably tell you, it was different, and you wouldn't know the difference anyway.
Yeah.
Unless you just didn't cook, because they charge something like $10 or $15 a month just to have gas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think the bill's like $22, $23. So, but in this apartment, it's not included. All the other ones, you'd have your own gas, your own electric, and like I say, your heat and your hot water.
Okay.
And heat is pretty good, except for when it gets really, really cold. Usually you get a few days when it just barely comes up into the single digits, and then goes back down, and then it gets a little chilly in here.
How about for air conditioning? Do you supply your own unit, or they come with window units, or?
Yeah, you pretty much have to supply your own thing.
Okay.
I have the landlord said he had a couple of units available. Whether he intends on selling them, I'm sure they're probably used.
Okay.
And actually, I have one sitting out there in the yard that is an 8,000 BTU. That somebody would love to sell it, for little or nothing.
Pet friendly building or no pets or?
Cats.
Cats you're allowed? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cats would be okay. Actually, I prefer no pets whatsoever because then you never have any complications based on them.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we seem to keep finding.
Every unit's wired for cable.
Yeah.
Cable internet, everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Comcast has got the building wired as far as cable's concerned, and then of course you have phone jacks. So if you want DSL, you can have that.
Okay.
And actually, this apartment here, he shares my internet. I have a pretty decent connection with Verizon and a router, and
Oh yeah.
and I just ran a cable up through here and hooked him up.
Oh yeah.
So he has that. I charge him like $15 a month.
Oh, that's not bad.
No,
That's not bad.
I thought that was a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I tried to hook up like a wireless thing. Those little modules are such a pain in the ass, and they keep dropping out.
Well, yeah. The problem is if you're sharing. I've tried to share that with other people in the apartment, and if they have the wireless router in their apartment, it can go out, and then if they're away for a week, what are you gonna do? You can't.
Right.
You just have to, usually you just have to unplug it and plug it back in to get it to work again.
Well, these modules, and it's supposed to plug one module into your router and into an outlet.
Yeah.
And then you plug the other module into an outlet somewhere else in the building, and it's supposed to transmit it through the wires and then give you a little wireless hub. But it just hasn't been terribly effective. And
Right.
Basically, I wasted $300 finding out that it didn't work like I thought. Maybe if you lived in the country, where you had like a ranch home and then a bunch of space and then the next house, I think it would be okay. You could extend your wireless down to the other end of the house pretty good. But there's just too much stuff going on in the city. Too many overlapping. He fires up a microwave. Microwaves are 2.4 gigahertz frequency, and so is that thing.
Yep.
And cordless phones, they run at 2.4 gigahertz. So there's just too much crap in the city. I wish they'd mentioned that before I bought it in the thing, but oh well. Details. Yeah, I guess we've left this place about the way we found it.
Okay. Do you want to take a look at the?
Yeah, I'll run down and get that
The
card that I forgot to bring.
Okay.
It has the prices.
Okay, great.